again for tuning in to Real Talk with Josh Robb. We got a lot of hot topics to discuss, so let's get to it. For today's top stories, Mitt Romney retroactively retires from Bain Capital, February 1999. Barack Obama just put some money back into my pocket, and why I hate politics. But first, let's start off with the shocking announcement made by Ed Gillespie on the Sunday morning talk shows when he announced that Mitt Romney retroactively retired from Bain Capital in February 1999. Now, you're going to hear a lot of stand from the Barack Obama campaign and the Romney campaigns about what this means, but here's the exact definition of what he did. He left Bain Capital in February of 1999 to run the Olympics. He was still planning on being a part-time, keep this in mind, a part-time CEO, chairman, and owner of the company. Once he got out there, and according to his people, he realized that he could not attend all the meetings, that he could not have as much involvement as he did before he went to the Olympics. Then he determined that he needed to retire. And rather than it being from the date that he decided to retire, it was determined that they would go all the way back to 1999. The reason they did this is so that they could give him a nice buyout package, because he was the owner of the company. He built up the company for 22 years. The company is his. It's run top down. If you've been through any college courses or any course in the business, you would know that the culture of any business is built from the top down. They take all their initiative from the CEO. And if the CEO thinks that the best investment is investing in a company overseas, he doesn't literally have to go and tell his managing directors what to do. So what do I mean? So to sum this all up, this all means that Mitt Romney is responsible for what Bain Capital did from 99 to 2002. And the reason he is responsible is not because he was there, not because he was officially there to make any decisions, but the reason he's responsible is because he signed SEC documents stating that he was actively involved. He could have said passively. He said that he was actively involved in 11 out of 46 companies and SEC documents filed in 2002. And the second reason, like I said before, the culture was established. SEC documents filed in 2002. And now on to my second story. Barack Obama put a little more money into my pockets last month when I was given the opportunity to consolidate my loans as part of his efforts to reduce the amount of student loan debt being accumulated, which is now over $1 billion. It's the highest debt. It passed up credit cards. Now, credit cards is the number 2 highest debt. The number 1 way you can get indebted in this country in 2012 is if you have student loans. And Barack Obama has helped many low-income and middle-class families this past year by allowing students to consolidate their loans. And it wasn't a real tricky packet to fill out. It took me 5 minutes to fill out, and I was able to save 50% on my loans over the next year. You think I would have got this under Mitt Romney? You think that he would be pushing for tax cuts when it took the Congress, the Republican House, at the 11th hour on June 29th, they decided to pass the legislation when the student rates would have went up in 2 days, had they not? Okay, and this is what they're doing in front of us. So you can imagine all the backroom deals and things that are awarded to people for helping the GOP push this agenda. So the reason I wanted to bring this up was not just because it saved me 50% on my loans for the foreseeable future, but because I don't think many people knew about this. And the reason is the way it's given out is through like emails and mail, and it needs to be a way where students can go and find out any information that they need that can help them with their tuition, books. It needs to be somewhere where they can find this information readily and be able to act on it. And that's all my Barack Obama butt kissing for today. But I just want to say he's doing a great job. He is trying to look out for millennials. And if you look at any other group, black, white, Hispanic, Barack Obama, other than among blacks and Latinos as a race, his third highest group is millennial voters. 2-1 right now. People under 30 are voting age. People under 30 is voting for Barack Obama. 2-1 right now. And finally, on to my third story and why I hate politics. Now, I know you might be saying, but hey, you started a podcast and it's all about politics. That doesn't mean I have to like it. And here's the major reason. It used to be politician, but now it's the journalists and the mainstream media itself. 30 years ago, we had about 50, 60 legitimate news organizations. Now, I know you guys see like all these different cable channels coming out. You're like, oh, just we got even more. Actually, no. 90% of all the media that you take in, MSNBC, Fox, NBC, ABC, it's all ran by 6 conglomerate companies that not only have the shares in media and entertainment and amusement parks and what have you, but it's 6 voices at the very top get to tell us the information that we need to know. And when politicians come on and they tell blatant lies because the journalists want them to come back next week and they want them to like them and trust them, they are not allowed to call them out on that. And in return, that does us a disservice because when they say blatant lies and nobody call them out on it and they allow them to run on with talking points and avoid answering the questions, then that makes it seem like the information is true. Because why do journalists we trust? Why wouldn't, if they were lying to their face, surely they would call them out, right? Wrong. Now the journalist's job is to be celebrities just as much as the politicians. They want the sound bites on their show. They want you to YouTube them and see their top clips because of the people they brung in and things they said. And the objective of giving us information is secondary. If we become informed, that's fine. But their job is to entertain us. And when the journalists and the politicians are involved in entertainment, then how could we really know who to trust? And that's why I like to give a special shout out to magazines like The Nation and Mother Jones and websites like Think Progressive, because as much as they, call out the Republicans for things that they do wrong, like the voter ID measures, which I will be talking about all summer, and the stand your ground laws, stop and frisk laws, they also talk about the things that, us liberals don't want to hear, about the military and the secretiveness of that, and I think that they trust, and I'm, as a liberal, I believe so myself, that we will be able to decipher what information we need to know as the general public and what information needs to remain in the White House and in the office of the presidency. And that's all for Real Talk with Josh Robb. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget